I appreciate y'all taking the time to come out and be with us today. We're going to get started by spending a little time with our lunch sponsor. So thank him for the Chick-fil-A that you're eating. This is Troy Richardson. He is now the owner of Delta Radon. He used to own Delta Residential at all. I've personally done a ton of business with him. This is a great guy who answers the phone, which I always think is super important. So I'm going to let him take it away.
Thanks for everybody coming. Listen to me for 3 minutes. The maestro will be out in a little while to get to speak about how to do better real estate there. That's this one here. So all I'm teaching today is who you can call if you got a radon mitigation issue. We can also do some radon testing when needed. So if you got something you get in the bind, need something, if your inspector's not doing it, let us know. We can work that out, get it coordinated, get it done for you. I've got a short period of time, so y'all bear with me. I'm gonna speak fast and get my stuff done, get out of the way, and let this young man take over. I'm available for any questions at any time. Like she mentioned, I answer the phone. If you guys have dealt with anybody in the radon mitigation world, it's sometimes a couple of days before they get back to you. All right, we're done with that. All right, being an old home inspector for 24 years, we realized real quick we were a pretty decent company as far as customer service because we answered the phone when we got back to people. So we transferred the same thing over when I sold my home inspection company, Delta Residential. And actually one of the guys that works for me, you'll probably have him in front of you one day. He is, they still run that company. He runs everything there. So they still have the same concept. We just transferred it over here now. Radon's the scariest thing. Home inspection is pretty nothing but a hassle for everybody here. Now I'm not still a home inspector, but I'm not practicing home inspector. We're the worst part of the industry over there. We're fixers here. So you guys call me when you got a problem, we fix it. We're the solution. I'm also the only mitigation company in town that's still MLS approved because I am a home inspector. So we go out and schedule on appointments. If we need a mitigation quote done that we can't determine it online, we'll actually go and I'll go ahead and schedule an appointment, go out and look at it. And I'll determine what we need then. I'll let you know, hey, I got to give me a day on this. I got to run out and look at it. Then I can provide a quote to tell you the exact number instead of this stuff where you go and you put a, sorry about that. Bring it over here. Okay, that's my son. He'll keep calling. All right. So when we go out and look at a job, sometimes years ago, we would hear people complain all the time. Why is this extension cord still laying out here in front of the house? And when you go that day of closing or the day before to do a walkthrough, because this was installed, and I'll put this up on the thing here so you guys can see what we do. My installer would laugh. He told me I didn't do a good job putting this thing together. So the reason being he's better about it. So they come and they see this cord here with an extension cord going around the front door, around the back of the house, plugged in somewhere. They're like, what are we doing about that? Well, that's one of the other reasons we got in the industry. We want to stop that. Turnkey, general contractor, home inspector that I am, we actually know the thing that we need to finish the job. So we'll quote if we need to get an electrical outlet installed. We'll make sure you know that.
I'll have to talk at 11:30 though.
Oh.
Hello, dear. Yeah. So what we'll do is, am I speaking to him back here? All right. So in that case, we'll determine if that receptacle is needed or not. And you might have your own electrical contractor you deal with. That's the case. Just tell them, look, we're getting our stuff put in, have them come out and put it in. But we're not going to leave you sitting there that day of closing, and you might be on the listing side. And then you're fighting that. Oh, I got to find an electrician to give me a quote. And electricians are great. They're not easy to get back to about a quote about what they don't know what they're putting in. So those are things we try to do a turnkey job when needed. Also, too, we're going to find out we're pretty darn cost effective. There's one company in town that will beat us called SWAT. Now, there's something y'all need to hear about. SWAT's a company that does not do 48-hour monitoring tests afterward, which we do. We always provide that 48 hours so you can see like you get pretty much every test you get today. They leave you a kit behind that you get to mail off, or your seller has to mail off and wait for a result to come back. Beating that up on them only because they're the ones that beat us because we provide that test. It's a little bit more to do the test. So we're going to be $130, $140 away from them pretty much every time. So other than that, everybody else in town, we're competitive, sometimes on better pricing, and also too, we're going to kill you with service. So keep that in mind as you're moving forward. If on a listing or purchase, let me know if we can help you with anything there, because this is what we do for a living. I can explain all that to you in person one day. By the way, my installer named this Jesus, my installer. He tells me every day, life's a lot better. Your life's a lot better with Jesus in it. And I said, yeah, I'm glad to have you, brother. Come on now. Let's go get the big guy to talk to us now and get something done here. He always laughs, but he said, what is that, Stumpy? So this is my display now, has a name. So because reason it's not plugged in today, This is actually one that came back on a warranty. We had a problem with it. So a year after it was in, something happened. What happened? Found out something actually got into it. That somebody was a painter doing some work and he took everything apart and some debris fell in it. And over time it started making noise. So this has a 5-year warranty. So that 5-year warranty, in that 5 years, we do not charge your client to come out and look at the fan. We just tell them if they call me, I'll walk them through the process to see if they have electrical current, they see if they got it powered up. Everybody says, I don't have anything to test that with. Every one of us got a cell phone. You got to charge it. You plug that thing in the wall and that phone lights up. Now everybody's got electrical charger or electrical outlet tester. That's the best way to look at it. So what we usually do is a GFCI trip somewhere. Once we determine they do have power, I show up on the job a day or a couple of days later. We tell them, look, as soon as I get over there, I'll be there. Because they're not in harm's way for a few days. It's something I explain to them. I get them off the ledge. All right. But we come out and replace the fan soon and find out that's what it is. We just put a new fan on. We're kind of like safe light at that point in time. Now you don't have any money. Have a good day. And we walk away, and then I go back and work out with our manufacturer to ship me a new fan. So it's a 5-year deal that I do with everybody because I believe in our product. That's the only fan I've replaced the last 3 to 4 years. So that's kind of a nice service that takes you guys out of it completely. And also too, in the units we'll put on, there'll be a sticker on it in case they need to call us and know who it is. But kind of quick and hurry because I know he's got to get his stuff here. But any questions? And I'll throw a lot at you guys here real fast this morning. But any questions, any concerns or anything? All right, I don't hear any radon calls coming in. No, if you call, I know real estate agents only work from 9 to 5. So there it is. There it is. All right. So now that we got that out of the way here at the end, I know your hours. All right. Sorry about my bad ring. I can hear that over drills running, which is a good thing. So that's my hearing's not as good as it used to be. So loud pitch is like, oh, and you'll hear Jesus when he hears it before I do because he's a bit younger. He'll go, "Hey guy, go answer the phone." And I'm over there like with a drill or something. Sometimes I'm on the job, it's doing, helping with the jobs, and other times we got some help that comes with him. But he does pretty much everything. He's the man. I call him the magician. He makes things happen in the field. There's a terminology we use, making chicken salad out of chicken crap. Well, sometimes you get to those jobs and you look at it going, "Oh, we got to do this," and it's just something the first time we'd seen it. He's like, "I got it." He's already got it figured out. So we FaceTime on every job, even if I'm not there. He's hitting me up saying, "Hey, I got one going. We've already been on there this morning." Days. That's a telemarketer. I've seen that number 3 times this morning. All right. So sorry, my phone's ringing. I answer the phone on the weekends. I'm not as quick on the weekends. I might be out doing something else. So I will get back to you every weekend, emails, sometimes text, wherever you want to reach out to. Because your buyers and sellers are in freak mode when they hear about radon. I mean, it's home inspectors here. We were creating the issue, and it was a thick skin job. Oh God, there's the darn home inspection list. We got to deal with that now. All right. I'm just one part of that now as far as the repair part. Like I said earlier, I'm the fixer. So but radon scares everybody. As soon as they get on the internet and read about it, they don't want to buy the house. You have them call me if they need to talk about radon. We'll talk them into not buying the house, but talk them into understanding radon. So they understand what they're buying and that it can be repaired. So that sometimes is a benefit because a lot of people don't. I don't want it. It's got a 2.0 level. That's fabulous. EPA says 2.0 is even hard to achieve. We beat it all the time and get it better, but never promise a buyer or seller what their level is going to be because Mother Nature is still involved, and that affects every hour that test is affected by what the weather's doing. But your buyer needs to hear it from us. They love you guys, but they must say if y'all are negotiating everything, they're like, I need to hear from the specialist, like heat and air. When the air conditioner's not working, I need to hear from that air conditioning guy. Why is it not working? Did they just pump it full of Freon to get through this day? So that's where we come in and try to help you on those type situations. So other than that, I think I'm going to let the maestro step up and do his part. And thank you for my little bit of time here today. I'll leave some cars and we'll take Stumpy here with me, get him out of the way. But want to make sure y'all kind of knew what we do and how we do it, things like that we can get into later. But it's a simple process for us. Every job we're there about 3 to 4 hours, maybe, sometimes less. You do crawl space, basement, concrete slabs. Tim wall, if you want to call them that too. So, and we do a good amount of builders around town too. So we're kind of working with those. And, just like recently we got together with the Wilder group over there, because I actually know Reed Smith that runs that division over there. And we were talking. So we're now starting to do their neighborhoods. There's a lot of those neighborhoods in this area right here, all the way over in Harnett County. So y'all probably sell in their areas too. So just know that we'll probably be the company coming behind to fix those as they need to. And they're one of the, they're gonna bring them up. They're one of the ones that requires another test before they'll do the radon mitigation. We actually provide those tests for them now. So that's what we're doing with builders these days, and we're doing it quick, trying to get the process done fast. There again, closing date's coming and that buyer's freaking out. We know. I've only bought one house in my day. Got lied to on the way out the door. I'll tell my wife just the other day, you know, we got about 5 more years here. She said, why? I said, we're almost 13. This is the day after she turned 13. And she said, why are we talking about moving? I said, who needs to, it's big, who needs this house that we're living? It's not that overly big, but it's a lot of maintenance. I was out last night shoveling sand in the holes in the yard to smooth them out. I'm not looking to do that the rest of my life. So yeah, we'll be downsized. And so again, that little home keeps moving.
Yeah, you know,
Yeah, yes, there we go. Right on. Those some new ones for sure. But any questions down the road today, y'all got my information. Just give me a ring and we can discuss things, and anything we can do to help any of you down the road, we'd appreciate it. And other than that, good seeing you again. So,
great
and this young lady been doing it for a while, so should you get me into it.
Absolutely.
By the way, I called her yesterday.
Yeah.
She calls me back about an hour later. Says, oh, we got a cancellation. You want to do it tomorrow? I'm like, give me about an hour, see if I can get to. We made it quick. All right.
Thanks so much. Thanks, you. Thank you so much, Sherman. We appreciate you, especially at the last minute.
Yes.
I'm not gonna hold y'all anymore. Justin, it's on you.
Hey y'all, I'm Justin. They gave me 45 minutes, but I grew up Church of God Pentecostal, so I'll be here for an hour. So I am from the 5-county metropolis, Winston Lake Town, Middlesex. So I don't have a slide or anything like that. I'm just gonna talk, and you're just gonna have to pretend to write it down and pretend to listen. Take what you love, leave what you don't. What I don't want you to do is write everything down and then try to implement everything, because that's not gonna work. Take like 3 things that we talk about in here that's relevant to you, and then slowly implement one at a time. Get really good at one and then start the next one. Because if you try to take everything, implement all of it, you're gonna bomb. And then you're gonna be frustrated. It's like, this doesn't work. It's like, no, it works. I promise. I've been selling real estate since right after I got out of college. I graduated from NC State in May of 22. Go Pack. I got my license November 1st, 2022, the day interest rates tripled and went back to 6%. So I haven't known anything other than 6.5% interest rates. I have been in the business 2.5 years. Disclosed transaction number 75. I'll do 50 deals this year. I've taken 20 listings from January 1st to now. And I'm just going to give you everything that works, everything that doesn't, and we'll go through it together. The way I want to structure this is the first bit, I'll talk about like my 10 commandments of what I think it really takes to have a strong listing presentation. And then we'll actually do mine together, and then we'll just kind of go through questions. How's that sound? Cool. So I've got notes. I'm very old school. Few different things that I want to make sure we really, really talk about. The most important thing is I hate when I go to a sales conference and nobody gives any context. They just get up and they start talking and they're like, here's what you need to know. And there's a lot of context, I think, that comes to this, especially when we're in the South and we deal with a lot of emotional sales, right? Divorces, deaths, babies, their kids are going to college, now they're downsizing. So when it comes to that, and when we're in the South, right, everybody talks about emotions and everybody's like, my listing appointments take 20 minutes. And I'm like, well, this is the South. Ours take an hour. Because we've got to talk about the flowers and we've got to talk about the garden and then we got,
Yeah.
So we need context before we go and try to really beef up representation, because really this sales business is really, really tough, but it's simple. It's not easy, but it's simple. We do 5 things. We lead generate, we lead follow up, we talk to buyers and sellers presentations, we go on appointments, and we close deals. I would say the 6th one is to practice the craft. If you don't have a role play partner to practice these things, you're not going to grow. It's a muscle, right? Sales is a muscle. You have to develop it for it to become muscle memory. So number 1, when it comes to a listing presentation, shut up. Just be quiet. There's so much power in a pause. Say something impactful and then be quiet. Let it sink in. I had a public speaking coach years ago, and she was like, I'm excited that you're excited, but you have to say something impactful and then pause. And when I was giving speeches, I was giving speeches to groups of 500 to 5,000 young people in agriculture. And I felt like I got so much further when I could just have a pause. And then the flip side of that too is Ask a question and then be quiet. That is all you have to say is the question. Let them talk themselves into something or out of something. Because 90% of the time it's their decision. You just ask the right questions to get them there. We're a team, we're working together, we're asking the right questions to get them there. Number two, you gotta have more information before you meet. We take the call. Yeah, I can be there tomorrow at 7. Cool. And we go and we don't talk anything else. We get their address, we get their emails, and that's all. How much do you owe the mortgage? Have you considered doing for sale by owner? Are you interviewing other realtors? If yes, who are you interviewing? You need to know this stuff. If they're not interviewing other realtors, I'm not nervous. If they're interviewing Kathy too, now I'm nervous. Right? So it's kind of that you have to approach. I need more information before I go. When you go to the doctor's office, you talk to the nurse. She asks you all the question, lets you ramble, so the doctor can come in, and then you got 90 seconds for the doctor to really figure out the problem. Same thing with this. I have my nurse call. That's when we can talk about why are you moving? So then when I get there, now all I gotta do is sell the idea, right? No plan and no presentation, but hoping for the best because we're friends, we went to house together. That's not a business strategy. And if they're interviewing 3 people and 2 of them don't have a listing presentation, they're just gonna go on vibes and tell them they like countertops. Not a business strategy. What makes us different? What makes you different than everyone else they're talking to? Why should they work with you instead of their third cousin? Their strategy. Your body language is everything. So many times we go in, you're like, oh my God, hey, and shake hands or whatever. Don't shake their hand. Hug them. This is the South. Hug them. Now we're friends, right?
Yeah.
And take a gift. Take a bottle of bourbon or something from a bakery. Now they feel like they owe you something, right? 90% of the appointments that I go on when I take a gift, I get paperwork signed at the appointment. When you go to a car dealership, you want water? I brought you some merch. Here's a hat, some koozies. Oh yeah, you can just sign right here. That way. Same thing with us. It's not sleazy. It's strategy. And how do we get them away from the other 10 realtors that they're friends with? The average person knows 12 realtors. How do we get them away and on our side? The mental ownership of working with the Lineberger team or whoever. It happens from the minute that you get in. When I walk in, the first thing I say is shoes on or off. Follow their lead. If they hesitate for even a second, the shoes are coming off. Even a second. My phone's on do not disturb. Please don't let your phone. And then what I want you to do is immediately ask for a tour. Take them with you. So many people will say, make yourself at home. No, no, no. I want you to go with me. Tell me all of your favorite things. I want you to have a notepad. And I want you to be like, I'm just going to take notes. 2 things. 1 for my marketing. 2 is what a buyer is going to be looking for. And take notes. If you look around, there's just scribbles. I'm drawing flowers. I'm having fun. This is when I'm building the most rapport, especially if I don't know them prior. If they're a referral, this is when I'm building rapport. Oh my God, I love that rug. Where'd you get it? I hate the rug. Where'd you get it? I hate it. Yeah, I'm talking about the art, right? If somebody has art on their wall and you can talk about it, immediate in. Immediate in. If you want to learn about art, go on a cruise, go on a Carnival cruise, go to the very bottom of the ship. It's really loud down there. There's a man in a bow tie. It's always a bow tie. He's a bow tie and he's gonna be selling art. So go and learn about the art. You will be surprised how many people buy art on a Carnival cruise. You go to their house, you see the art, you start talking about it, immediate rapport. And the next thing I'm talking about is if I'm seeing stuff on a wall, if I'm seeing structural crack, if I'm seeing rough carpet, I'm pointing it out, I'm talking about it. I'm asking about it. I'm not saying we gotta fix it, but I want to know about it. Why? Because the majority of agents go in and they just want to, I'm going to show you some pictures of other houses that I've sold. No. I'm showing you that I know house. When I first got my license, I had nothing else to do. So what I did, I looked at other people's inspection reports. I went on other people's inspection reviews. I don't have anything else to do. And at 22 years old, 23 years old, how are people going to take me seriously? If I can talk about a crawl space, or if I can talk about a leak, or water on the wall, they would all of a sudden, oh, maybe he's been doing this well. Never saw that. Yeah, I see this all the time. Never seen it before. The next one is if they want to negotiate, they don't see your value. If they have an issue, we're gonna pretend we're not on video. I'll be mindful, Nicole. If they want to talk about the fee, they don't see the value in what you're presenting. You got to present harder. And I'm not gonna be a nickel holding up a dime. I will gladly drop a 1/4% if it means you'll sign right now. Because I'm not gonna let you go and think about it, or let you call Mark Spain or somebody else. But if that is what's holding you up, you've got to work on your value more. It starts here, what we're doing here. What is the value? Then it's not a question. And if they ask, no, what other questions do you have? If I don't sweat, they're not going to sweat. You don't negotiate with your doctor. You don't negotiate with your attorney. You don't negotiate with a plumber. Get an invoice and that's it. Same thing with us. You see the value. I can do something you can't do. Now you see the value. It's not a conversation. If you've ever been to therapy, you know that pretty quickly your therapist will see the entire piece of your puzzle, but they just have to give you one piece at a time, right? Same thing with us. People need data one piece at a time. I'm not going to sit down. All of a sudden, I'm going to word vomit price and days on market and what their neighbor's house sold for. Piece at a time. The time. It sits. It resonates longer. And then when it comes time to talk about why we should do it my way, it's their idea, but it's my way. Why we should do it my way, why we should price here, it's so much easier. The conversation's so much easier. Everything you do should lead to the next thing. Every single piece of our conversation is strategic. Every text, every email, every phone call, it's pointing to the next thing. None of this is groundbreaking, by the way. It's just loose lips. But this is part of the sales cycle. Point to the next, point to the next, point to the next. And the biggest thing in sales that we all get wrong is inclusive language. And what I mean by inclusive language is not, this is important, but this is not what I mean. It's not, everybody's like, don't say if we work together, say when we work together. Or when I sell your home. No. I want you to use we. I want you to use us. Together. We're a team. As soon as I book the appointment and I send them the onboarding email, hey team, here's some information we're going to review together. It's not about when, it's about now we're taking the mental ownership, working with us. What do we do? Oh my gosh, I can't wait to come to your house. I'm going to show you a bunch of cool stuff. I and you. Now we're drawing a separation. It's we, us. So those are the 10 commandments of taking a listing, and I think is important context. I want to go through the listing presentation. I need a seller. Does anyone volunteer to be my seller? Please be nice to me. Okay. Okay, cool. I'm just gonna pull a chair right here. Will you be my seller? Okay, cool. Sure. Thank you. So it's the day before the appointment. I have a very strategic 3-step process. I explain that when you reach out. Hey, I want to sell my house. Cool. I have a very strategic 3-step process. Number one, we have our intake call. It's going to last about 10 minutes. I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions. If you can have as much data about your house as possible, that would be great. The second part of the process, I come to your house, we decide we want to work together, we agree on pricing and marketing. And then once we establish the relationship, the third part, I come back to your house. I tell you what I want it to look like for photo and video, and I tell you what we should have it looking like for showings. It's the day before the appointment. I'm going to call you. Ring, ring.
This is Scott.
Hey Scott, it's Justin with EXP. How are you?
Hey, Justin, doing good. Hope you are.
I am. Look, I want to go through some of this information for our listing appointment. Do you have a few minutes for me?
Sure.
Cool. Still holding the phone, by the way. So number one, I'm preparing to sell our net sheet. What do you own the home?
150,000.
Cool. And have you been paying attention to the real estate market in your neighborhood, in the area, in your zip code, school district?
A little bit, but not really recently.
Okay, cool.
And I know it's changing all the time. So,
Totally. And did you have a price in mind for your home that you wanted to sell for?
not really. I mean, I saw the Zestimate, come in at 350, but I just wanted to get your opinion.
Perfect. Well, I can appreciate his estimate. You know, I say real estate prices every day. You're in favor of listing at a fair price, right?
Right.
Cool. The only reason I ask is sometimes people have a bottom line that I can't meet, so I always like to set that expectation up front. Does that sound fair?
Sure. Just as least as long as it's as much as the Zestimate or more.
Perfect. 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 Have you thought about selling the home yourself?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, no. I mean, I've had some people that just say that that's not a great idea. So I was trying to find an agent to help. I had a cousin that did it, and it took a while, and it was a lot harder than they thought it was going to be.
Sure, sure. I can imagine. Have you thought about renting the house out instead of selling?
No, I really just want to sell.
Okay, cool. And when you sell, where are you moving to?
I'd like to go to the beach. To be honest.
Cool, cool.
Mhm.
For the sake of time, I'm gonna breeze past that. Most of the time, you can build rapport here. Oh my gosh, what beach? Oh, I love Beaufort. You can build rapport there for that break. I'm gonna ask. We're back into it. Have you ever considered seller financing?
No, I hadn't really thought about it.
Okay. Are you interviewing multiple agents?
Possibly.
Okay. If you were to interview multiple, who would you interview?
Mhm. The Lineburger Shane. Painful Stevenson.
Well, lastly, before I let you go, I want to know, do you have any questions for me, things that I could be sure to cover tomorrow?
So, is there anything else I need to have ready for you when you come? Did you have a look at the house and stuff tomorrow when you come?
Yeah, we'll look at the house, talk about some strategy, and we'll go from there. If you just want to have a list of upgrades for me on things that you love about the house, that'd be great. But no, I'll be there at 6 tomorrow.
Sounds good, Justin. Cool. Look forward to seeing you then.
So all I'm doing is just bringing out objections. Because the worst is when you get blindsided because you show up and they're like, well, no, I'm just gonna sell it myself. Or well, now that you say those numbers, I think we might just run it out. So I need to know, this is the nurse, right? I need to know where you're at before I even get there. And they don't know that I'm bringing out objections. We do, because we live in this world, but they don't. So they don't know. They think that we have a form from the North Carolina Real Estate Commission that we've got to know all this information about. They don't know any different, right?
Justin, on that, because I tried to make it easy, but on the price thing, if you get it, like suppose the seller does say, I saw because we do really get that, whether it's estimate or whatever. Whereas like I was thinking when you asked them the price, I was thinking it'd at least be 350. And let's just say they're way off. I mean, do you let them know that? Do you go ahead and have that conversation on the phone, or do you try to think, well, I'm going to handle this objection more when I get in front of them, and I can show them why they're so out of whack, well, off base. So what do you mean?
Yeah. So I want to get the appointment, right?
Yes,
Yeah, because I can't sell over the phone.
exactly.
Yeah, I can't sell over the phone. And the story will tell itself and the data will sell itself. If they're not believing you on price, you need more data. And what so many people get wrong in explaining is marketing value versus appraisal value. Marketing value is things that they would pick our house instead of someone else's. That's the generator. That's the pergola. That's the gazebo. That's the hot tub. But appraisal value is things that an appraiser is going to actually get value for. I love the generator. I love the new landscaping. I think your rubber mulch is wonderful. An appraiser's not going to care. I love your drawbar. Appraiser's not going to care. Buyers will, if we're competing with 4 other homes in the neighborhood, they will pick ours instead of someone else's. But yeah, I talk about it when I get there. I want to get in front of them.
Yep.
Yeah, so cool. We're there. We've walked through the house. We're gonna sit down. We're sitting at the kitchen table. Do not sit across the table from them. Do not sit across the table from them. Do not sit at the dining room table. Sit in their eating kitchen. Guests sit at the dining room table. Family sits at the kitchen table. Sit at the kitchen table with them. I prefer to be at the head of the table. Why? Authority. And not just authority of, no, you're going to work with me, but authority of, they will believe the data that I'm presenting. If I have to have someone sit at the head of the table, it's the decision maker. Because and in 80% of cases, it's the wife. So I want her at the head of the table. But I don't ever want them on one side and me on the other side. Now there's a divide. Now it's us versus them. That's not what we want. We're a group, we're a team. So we sit at the table. I sit down. Your house is wonderful. Thank you for having me. I just want to go back to the beginning. What's the vision? What's the plan?
I'd like to sell this as fast as I can and get to the beach. But of course, I want to get the most money I can as well.
Okay, totally. And what beach are you moving to?
I'm gonna go to Pine Knoll Shores.
Okay, I love it. Let them sell their vision, right? Ask questions and let them sell. The bigger their dream is, the more they're going to do to get there. So let them talk themselves into that dream, that vision. I want to move to the beach. Now we're talking about Pine Knoll Shores. And I'm talking to them. Are you guys on the sound side? Are you on the beach side? You go to the aquarium a lot. I'm talking about their vision. If they're moving from Wilson to Raleigh, what's bringing you to Raleigh? You want to be closer to work? Yeah. Totally. You want to be closer to the bars? Cool. It's those types of things. Let them sell themselves on the vision, on the dream. Wonderful. I love Pine Knoll Shores. Before we get started, I just want to talk about a few things. Number one, you understand I'm a straight shooter. You may love it, you may hate it. I may remind you of your crazy Aunt Peggy. But regardless, you understand that I have your best interest at the forefront of the conversation. Does that sound fair? Cool. Number two, you understand my team and I, we study real estate prices every day. We study the market every day. We want to price your house to get it sold, not just get it listed. Does that sound fair?
Mhm.
Cool. And lastly, at the end of this, one of two things is going to happen. We decide to work together. You decide not to sell, or I choose not to take the listing because we can't agree on pricing and marketing. All those sound fair. Set the expectation. It's their choice. I've shown them it's their choice. One of two things is going to happen. Their choice. Everything's their choice, right?
Mhm.
But I set the expectation before we even start talking about anything else. Cool. Well, I'm glad all those things sound fair. First thing I want to talk about is marketing. I'm not going to sit here and be like, professional photography. We're going to skip that. If your real estate agent is not doing that, that's not your real estate agent. That is your friend. We do professional photography. We put in an MLS. Of course, everyone's going to come in here and say that. There's two things I want to hit on. Number one, we use full production video. Lights, cameras, mics, directors. We use it all. Here's why, is because people now are shopping online more than they ever have. With Amazon Prime, with Reels, with TikTok Shop, people are buying online left and right. And typically, when we list a home, we normally have 2 to 3 showings in the first weekend that are just from people that saw our video online and either contacted us or contacted their agent and said, we want to see this house. So we know we have the reach with full video production. We have a really wonderful video team that helps us create some sort of hook that is attractive and gets people in. And then the house tells itself, right? I believe houses tell a story. We need to tell that story online if we're really going to bring people in and make the most amount of money. So we will do full video. We do that for all of our homes at all price points. And if you ever have any ideas, please let us know. Number two, like everybody's looking at. Okay, cool. Number two, you get your own property website. So I believe that linking a house back to the MLS is not a business strategy. So we have our website, justindaniel.com. You can go on there and you have your own property website where buyers can see everything that other agents can see, and they can see all of the information that they need be able to make an educated decision. We also make it extremely easy. There's a tab that follows them as they scroll the website to allow them to schedule a tour with us, extremely easy. And then that way we're able to, learn about them, really figure out why they want to move, why they like the house, so that way we can sell even harder when they're there instead of them just coming to an open house and because they like the kitchen on Zillow. The reason that we do that is because we want to link people to our website so that way we can track. So we have all of this extra tracking for data. So when people visit our website, they look at a listing, they also have an information capture. So we're able to email them when there's a price drop, we're able to email them when there's an open house, any sort of change when it goes pending, if it comes back on the market. We're able to track all of that information. So we're leveraging all of our marketing tools, not just putting it in MLS, putting a sign in the yard and that it sells. How's that sound?
Good.
Cool. I want to talk about price. I wish I could come in here and say that I can sell your house for $5 million. Because the more money you make, the more money I make, right? I'll sell your house for $5 million. I won't work for the rest of the year. I'd be going to final shores with you. But here's the truth is that we may put a price of $5 million on it, find someone crazy enough to pay it. But it doesn't matter what I think it's worth, doesn't matter what you think it's worth, or what buyers think it's worth. At the end of the day, we have to pay respect to the appraisal. And that's what we're doing here when we're putting a price on it. When I'm pricing a house, I'm doing one of two things. The first thing I'm doing is putting the appraisal value on it. What is an appraiser going to pay for the home? The second thing I'm doing is putting a marketing price on it. If I think an appraiser is going to say your house is worth $405, I'm pricing it at $399. Does that make sense? Same reason that stuff is $19.99 instead of $20 at Walmart. There are two places that real estate agents like to hang out. One is Fantasyland. I wish I could hang out in Fantasyland. They drink champagne, take pictures of fancy cars. They don't actually sell any houses. You may have seen them on Selling Sunset or anything else. And then there's reality. That's where I hang out. I spend all my weekends in somebody else's houses because I'm selling real estate. My team and I will do 50 deals this year. So we know what's working in the market. We know what's not working. We know what buyers are looking for. So we're able to bring all of that data to you. I wish that I could price your home in Fantasyland, but then it sits on the market, it expires. You're upset with me because your home didn't sell. We've spent marketing dollars that we do not recoup. And then we have a faded sign because it sits in the sun and fades. And our signpost is green because they've been cutting the grass around it and not wiping it all. So we hang out in reality where we're going to get your home sold, and we have to put it at a price to get your home sold. There are three ways to price a home. Number one, above market value, create the market. We've done it once this year. We set the sale price per square foot in the zip code. Super unique homes, that is a strategy we recommend. Number two, at market value, where the comps say that it's worth, we're not going to have as much activity. We're probably not going to sell in multiple offers. We'll have a little room for negotiation, and you'll be happy. Number three, under what the comps say, below market value, create a buyer frenzy, have a mega open house, showings all weekend. We get one offer, we use them as bait to bring in other offers. Now we're in a multiple offer situation. It will drive asking price to at least where the comps say that it's worth, potentially above, but most importantly, the best offers are going to come within those first 2 weeks. And I don't even mean purchase price. I mean due diligence, which is a non-refundable fee the buyers give at the time of contract. That's where we're going to find our best buyer, because if we can have multiple offers, people are going to be fighting, offering a lot of non-refundable money. That's how we can get a solid contract. Is all that clear? Cool. So I'm going to give you data. This is what we talk through. We talk price per square foot. We talk about what upgrades are and are not worth money. And then I give them a range. When I'm pricing a house, I'm pricing in buckets, $25,000 buckets. When I get there, there's dog scratches on the wall, kids poop in the carpet, whatever. Or the low end, right? And then I'm giving them that $5,000 range. If it's immaculate, they've done all kinds of upgrades, landscaping's wonderful, then we're at the higher end. I tell them that, and then I say, what option makes the most sense to you? Above, at market value, below. And let them talk. Ask the question, zip it. Let them talk themselves into or out of an idea. And a lot of times you will see them pair up and talk. And whoever's sitting at the head of the table, oftentimes the wife, is going to say, no, we need to listen to him. Let's do this. Perfect. Thank you very much. Yeah. So then lastly, I'll say, look, I'm not here to talk about this, that, and third. I want it to make sense for everybody. the move doesn't make sense for me if it doesn't make sense for you. And I don't want to take an overpriced listing, or I don't want you to have false expectations. I'm just going to be very straight up with you why I think you should work with us instead of someone else. I'm not going to sit here and sell you or say that you're going to see our billboards everywhere. But what I will tell you is number one, I'm an Inman Future Leader in real estate, global 30 under 30 member. We're in a lot of elite groups with a lot of elite agents, online socials. So that way we're able to get real-time feedback and real-time buyers from other elite agents across the country. So not only do you get access to yes, the MLS, but you get access to all of our networks where we're blasting your house so we can get it in front of as many people as we can. But most importantly, in front of as many industry experts as we can, people that have been doing this far longer than I have, far smarter than me, to be able to get their real-time feedback on marketing, what they think is working, what they think is not working, and what they think that we should do differently. So yes, you get us, but you also get our elite groups. Number two, the average real estate agent in our market sells 2 to 4 homes a year. Last year, 500,000 agents, 1 listing. Taking 20 listings this year, we'll do 50 deals this year. We know what's going on in the market. We know what's working in the worst market in 20 years. We know what buyers are looking for. We know how to position ourselves strategically to help you make the most amount of money. If your home doesn't sell, I don't get paid. If I could sell your home for tons of money, I certainly would, because the more you make, the more I make. But we have to be strategic. We know what strategic looks like. We've been doing this for, I say something clever that makes them laugh. I don't know what it is. You'll just have to believe me. I can't find it on here. Oh, we've been doing this since Jesus was a baby. We know what's working and know what's not working. Lastly, I want you to ask other agents for their calendar. I know that sounds crazy, but there are a lot of agents. They got in it for the flexibility. And that's great. I love that. If I could spend all my time T-ball games and shopping at the mall, I would too. But I have a very routine calendar, very routine schedule, because if I'm not working, your house isn't getting sold. I give them a copy of my calendar. I let them see what my day looks like. It's important that this is the biggest investment. You deserve to have someone that treats it as such. What questions do you have for me? And then they'll say, what's your fee? Or whatever. That's when we open up the conversation. At this point, you're saying, I don't know, I think everything sounds good, or whatever. I'm getting out the paperwork. I don't want you to throw a big pitch of, I would love to get your home sold. You call me when you're ready. I don't want you to pitch. I want you to say, what questions do you have for me? And they're going to ask something off the wall. Should we paint upstairs? I don't talk about that here. I'll talk about that at our second appointment. But what I am doing, as they're doing that, they're agreeing mentally. They're going to look at each other, slowly nod their heads. I'm getting out the paperwork. I'm saying, your kitchen fridge, you taking it or leaving it? Writing it down. Your curtains, you taking them or leaving them? I'm starting the paperwork, the mental ownership of them working with us. Not a decision, that's not an option. Everything leads to the next thing, right? It's the sales cycle of 55 listings that I've taken from the start of last year to now. Only one person has called and said, hey, we shouldn't have signed. I actually think we are going to work with my third cousin. Okay, I'll rip it up, pretend like we never met. Wish you the best. If you want to secure the listing, do it at the kitchen table. Do it then on the appointment. You have to have the discernment to say, this is not the right time for paperwork. Follow up with them the next day. But 90% of the time, it is the right time for paperwork. They're ready to rock and roll. Because people think about something on average 7 times before they make a decision. So when they contacted us, they've been thinking about it. And what do they do when you sit down? Well, we've been thinking about it for a while. I know. So the sales cycle, keep moving, keep pushing them to the next thing. What questions do you have? And I'm starting to work on the paperwork. What's both of your full legal name? Easy as that. So that's my listing presentation. I want to open it up for questions. What's everyone thinking?
Justin, I have a question.
Okay.
So number one, I really love, your whole idea of driving, letting the seller know that you're going to drive traffic back to your site so you get off tracking things and all that. Is it at that point that you have some sort of conversation of the do's and don'ts of how you help me market your home? And how they can help by posting on mom groups and all that, and then give them some guidelines of like what to say, how to say it, and links to share, because you and I both know, and all of us in the room know, the first thing you're gonna do is go share a Zillow link or a Realtor.com link, which has no advantage for you, because you've just mitigated all the tracking that you want to perform.
They're going to Zillow Flex Agent.
Exactly. So from that perspective, is that initial listing appointment where you coach them through that, or are you waiting till a subsequent meeting to go through all that?
After they get onboarded to JDRE, they get an email that has, we can't post in mom groups, we can't post your house. We don't, some will allow you, some will not allow you to self-promote. So we said, we're not gonna post your house and your country club Facebook group, but you can. And we send them the link. Once it goes active and syndicates to our website, then we send them the link to justindaniel.com to their page. So that way they can use that.
That's great because, many of you are probably members of like lab coats or whatever. I even saw it like day before yesterday where screenshots of all these sellers, not only do they put links to Zillow or Realtor.com, but they shout out, hey, we got to sell like now, desperation, or they're using social media as their journal to just spew out all the wrong things they should be saying on social. So I feel like we as agents are not taking responsibility to coach those sellers not to use social media as their journal of how marketing is going, or start bad mouthing the agent because, hey, it's been 2 weeks, I've had no showings, blah, blah, blah. And we see that all the time.
Yeah. Some of it you can't control, but
Right.
like when we had a seller put their listing in Facebook Marketplace, and it's like, so we try to do that. A lot of people also will share our videos that are on our personal pages and on our Instagram. So that is also extremely helpful. If we can either send them to our website or send them to our social media, that's going to be the best funnel.
What, who are you using to create your videos?
I use a guy named Jose. I use a few different people. A guy named Charlie out of North Hills, a guy named Jose out of Sanford. It really depends on who's available. It depends on the house. Our guy Charlie out of North Hills, he's great. He does a drone fly through. Not every house needs that.
Right.
So some of them need a simple walkthrough. The power of the video is the editing and the hook. Some of them, the power of the video.
Right, that does that, or do you put it out?
We have someone that does it. Yeah. There's only a few things that we keep in house. $10 an hour tasks that we try to not, Cool. Well, that is our listing presentation. If you have any questions about it, text me, call me anytime. You're free. It's a lot. If you want the script, I'll just send it to you. Our marketing material, whatever. Just text me or email me and we can send it to you.
And like, very good.
Thank you so much, Justin.
Thanks. Very good, Justin. God bless you.